Hey everybody, welcome to this video on cryptocurrency analysis and news. I am the blockchain backer, and today is the first ever video that I am publishing to YouTube. And I'm pretty excited about this, and I know for a fact that this video will go down in history as the first video that I've ever published. So every time I go back in the past, it's there, the first one. So I'm quite nervous and I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but we're going to roll with it. So I am the blockchain backer. XRP is my favorite digital asset that exists. And it's for a very simple reason. And it's the fact that I have to deal with wire transfers all the time for the company that I own. And I've had to do this for about 4 years now. And I understand the slow process of how long it takes to actually send a wire transfer. So I know how this slows down the supply chain and how you have to wait days multiple times throughout an order in order to actually get to the very end of the supply chain. So if you want to buy something on the other side of the world, there's a lot of waiting on money before it finally gets to you. So with this channel, I wanted to just reiterate my confidence in XRP. I've been in this space for several years. I've been in here since about June of 2017. So I got in right around here. I got to enjoy this ride up and I got to enjoy the ride down. But I wanted to share with you just my confidence in this because I do watch YouTube videos myself. I do get on crypto Twitter myself. And I started thinking, why is it that I'm always looking at these different YouTubers or I'm looking at these Twitter personalities? And I think a lot of us do it simply for some reassurance that we're doing the right thing. A lot of times we can follow a lot of different people and they can give us a lot of different opinions. And sometimes when these charts are showing big red candles or big green candles, our emotions can change drastically with that. And sometimes we look for a little bit of reassurance in those moments where we have a price drawdown. Now, over the years, I have come to the conclusion that the short term price action is completely irrelevant when you look at the big picture. And the reason I was always drawn to XRP in the first place is simply because of the use case for wire transfers. If they do other things like MoneyGram, where people can send each other small amounts of money, $100 here, $200 there, and they can save some time, hey, that's great. But really, I understand what the big prize is. And the big prize is going after those wire transfers. When you walk into a bank a couple of times a month as a business and you have to send $30,000 across the world. Yeah, and a lot of people in this space don't understand how dangerous it is to actually send these wire transfers. You walk into the bank, first of all, you have to walk into the bank on a day that they're open. You have to pay a $45 wire transfer fee, and then they will print out, you hand them the information, and then a teller or a bank representative will manually enter in all the information for your wire transfer. They'll print it out, they'll hand it to you, and they'll say, does everything look accurate? And if you can talk to anybody who has ever done wire transfers inside of a bank, they will tell you the exact same thing. 90% of the time, something is wrong on that piece of paper that they hand you. And you have to say, hey, you've got one number wrong on their address, or you have misspelled the name of the company. Because you're sending these wire transfers internationally. They've got weird names that Americans or whatever country you're in, they're not going to be familiar with the spelling or the sounding, and they'll just overlook a letter because the word that they're typing doesn't really make sense to them. So the consequence of these typos on these wire transfers can cause massive delays in your transfer in the first place. So that it could take extra days for them to receive it, or it just gets rejected, or they never get it at all. And I'm telling you, when you're sending $30,000 like that to the other side of the world, to people who speak a different language than you, it's very concerning. And Ripple is clearly going after that. And they're going to be using XRP to handle those payments. And for me, having to deal with this for years and dreading going to the bank, especially when you show up and it's like President's Day and the bank is closed and you can't send a payment. That's why I'm so bullish on XRP long term. Now, there's a lot of charts we can go out there and do, and hey, I love charts. I think they're great, but by no means are they a certainty, right? We just take a look at the past and we try to predict the future with these, but will the timing of the chart coincide with what happens in reality? It's hard to know. You know, one of the really famous charts out there right now has been floating around is simply copying over here and pasting it here. These look very similar to these. They're hanging out under the 200-day moving average. Same thing. I'm watching it. If it breaks above here, sure, I'll get real excited. But it's not a guarantee. So, what happens if it does break down here, right? What happens if it goes lower? Do we panic? Do we freak out? I don't. And the reason I don't is because I know where we're going. I know where Ripple is going. We just got through Swell 2019. We got to see all the different companies that are working with Ripple, all the different customers. And that's how this is going to work. It's not, I do like Bitcoin. I do own some Bitcoin. But when I think of Bitcoin, I think of that, we are all sending this money to each other by ourselves. We're holding it, we're storing it as value. It's like this magical internet money. Hey, I own it. I get it. But when you think of how Ripple is going to work, Ripple is creating software where banks and institutions can log in, have access to data, and be able to send money to each other with XRP, using XRP. That seems much more structured, much more organized. For Bitcoin to succeed with the theory that there is, it's that society pretty much has to fall apart. Everything has to completely go to gloom and doom in order for them to succeed, in order for Bitcoin to succeed. For Ripple to succeed, for XRP to succeed, banks just need to buy into the concept. And based on everything that I'm seeing, banks are buying into the concept. So, this is my first chart, or my first video. See, there's a slip up. And I just wanted to express that regardless of what occurs with this chart and this previous fractal from the past, I am in here. I am bullish. I am buying. I am buying at 27.6 cents. And I look forward to the future and I look forward to more videos. So, I haven't thought of a good exit or closer line yet. But as always, with anything, I'm a YouTuber. I'm not a financial advisor. And here's the cheesy line: the blockchain backers got your back. So, take care, everybody. I'll see you next time.